I'd like to focus now on a country of particular concern in the region, and that's Cameroon. I should start by saying that the United Kingdom recognises the many positive contributions Cameroon is making to stability in the region, including their continued commitment to the fight against Boko Haram, and the sanctuary that Cameroon offers to refugees from Nigeria and the Central African Republic. However, we are concerned by the reality of the rapidly deteriorating security and humanitarian situation in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. In particular, we are concerned about high levels of displacement and take very seriously Rina Galani's warning that this is now one of the fastest growing displacement crises in Africa, and reports of human rights violations and abuses perpetrated by armed separatist groups and government forces, including extrajudicial killings, other killings, abductions, restrictions of movements, and access to health and education restrictions as described in the Secretary-General's report. We must always be alert, colleagues, to the risk that the situation escalates, affecting the broader peace and stability of the Central Africa region. We have already seen over 30,000 Cameroonians flee into Nigeria. If grievances are not addressed, tensions are likely to increase further. Mr. President, these concerns are not new. I raised them in the Council's discussion in March, as did others. Unfortunately, we have not seen the action needed to address the situation, and since March it has deteriorated further. We welcome President Biya's recent pledge to address the situation, but words alone will not improve things. We strongly urge the government of Cameroon to take urgent action, including by actively addressing the situation through inclusive dialogue with the Anglophone leadership to address the underlying issues, undertaking confidence-building measures in order to diffuse tensions and build conditions for dialogue. This includes the release of political detainees and implementing the government's own commitments on decentralisation and the recommendations of the Commission on bilingualism, allowing full humanitarian access and access to human rights monitors to all parts of the country. And I would also hope and expect that our own SRSG would have access wherever he wanted to go, and ensuring accountability for all of those responsible for human rights violations and abuses. And clearly, Mr. President, we also call on the armed groups involved to cease their attacks on civilians, allow full humanitarian access and access to human rights monitors, and to engage with the government on these issues. The UK, for its part, is committed to supporting Cameroon, and I am pleased to announce today that the United Kingdom is contributing $3.1 million to the UN's response in the Anglophone regions. That's equivalent to 20% of this year's flash appeal for the Anglophone crisis, to address immediate humanitarian and medical needs. We strongly encourage other member states to fund this as an important part of the conflict prevention effort. Preventing a crisis costs significantly less than resolving one. Mr. President, we have raised our concerns quietly so far and directly with the government, and we are committed to working with the government of Cameroon in every way we can to help resolve this situation. But I fear that unless action is taken and the situation improves, concern over the situation in Cameroon is likely to increase amongst Security Council members and become a more prominent part of our discussions. Mr. President, in addition to Cameroon, I would like to raise our ongoing concern about the humanitarian